What if I told you that every moment you've spent chasing a woman who didn't care was a moment stolen from your life? That every sleepless night, every ounce of energy you poured into someone who couldn't see your worth was a waste, a debt you'll never get back? You've been taught to believe in love, in passion, in chasing after something that isn't there. But what if, just for a second, you stopped and realized that all of this, the emotional turmoil, the confusion, the endless second-guessing, it was nothing more than a distraction, an illusion that pulls you away from your true purpose? We get so caught up in the chase that we forget one of the most powerful truths. Your time is your most precious asset. It's the one thing you can never get back. Yet, how many men are throwing away weeks, months, even years of their lives chasing after someone who will never give them the same energy in return? It's time to wake up. There's a lesson in this pain, if you choose to see it. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius himself said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." What if you did leave right now, in this very moment? Would you be content with how you've spent your time? Or would you regret all the wasted moments, the moments spent on someone who never valued you? Too many men fall into this trap. They get wrapped up in the illusion that love and affection are things you have to chase, things you have to prove yourself worthy of. But that's not love, that's need, and it's a dangerous thing. The Stoics understood that true strength comes from within. It comes from knowing your worth and never letting anyone make you feel less than it. It comes from detachment, detaching from the false beliefs that the world owes you something, that someone's attention or affection is the key to your happiness. What if I told you that you could stop wasting time on the wrong people, on the wrong pursuits, and start living with purpose? What if you could stop searching for validation from someone else and, instead, start valuing your own time as the sacred resource it truly is? This is your moment. It's time to break free. 5 brutal lessons that will strip away every illusion, every false belief, and put you on the path to reclaiming your life. These aren't lessons for the weak-hearted. They're not for the men who want to stay stuck in the cycle of self-doubt and unnecessary pain. Watch till the end, because these lessons won't just change the way you view women, they'll change the way you view yourself. And when that happens, everything else falls into place. If you're done wasting time, done chasing after the wrong things, hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe. Let's dive in. Number 1. If she's not choosing you, stop choosing her. You were not born to be an afterthought. You were not built to be an option. Yet, here you are, exhausting yourself over a woman who barely notices your existence. You fight for her attention. You beg for her time. You shrink yourself, hoping she'll see your worth. But she won't. A woman who truly values you will never make you question your place in her life. She won't keep you waiting in the shadows, won't hit you with weak excuses, won't feed you crumbs of affection just to keep you around. Love is not a puzzle you have to solve, and a man with self-respect does not chase a mirage. A Stoic man walks away from anything that insults his dignity. He does not beg, plead, or bargain for a seat at someone's table. He builds his own, and if she cannot recognize the value of a man like him, he does not waste a single breath trying to convince her. Because every second spent chasing someone who doesn't want you is a second stolen from your own greatness. You are not a beggar. You're not a stray dog waiting to be fed scraps of validation. Stop knocking on a locked door when the entire world is open to you. Stop burning yourself just to keep someone else warm. Walk away, not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with the unshakable power of a man who knows exactly who he is and what he deserves. Number 2. Attention is not affection. She laughs at your jokes, likes your posts, replies to your texts just enough to keep you hooked. And for a moment, it feels like something, like maybe she cares, like maybe you matter. But let's be real, that's not love. That's not even interest. That's just a game. A woman who genuinely wants you won't play with your time. She won't breadcrumb you with empty words while keeping you at arm's length. She won't give you just enough attention to keep you orbiting while she entertains someone else in the center of her world. Yet, too many men confuse attention with affection. They mistake a glance for devotion, a laugh for connection, a text for effort. And that mistake costs them their dignity. The Stoics teach us to judge actions, not words, not emojis, not social media likes. If a woman's actions don't align with her words, she's not confused. She's keeping you around for validation, for an ego boost, for the power of knowing you'll always be there. But the moment you stop feeding that, she disappears like she was never there. A high-value man knows this. Real love isn't a puzzle to be solved. It's clear, it's certain, it's undeniable. If you have to constantly decode mixed signals, you already have your answer. No answer. You weren't made to be an entertainer in someone else's game. You weren't built to be an option. Respect yourself enough to walk away from confusion. Walk away from inconsistency. Walk away from anything that forces you to question your worth. Because a man who values himself doesn't chase illusions. He commands reality. Number 3. Lust can trap you in weakness. How many men have burned their lives to the ground over a woman they barely knew? How many kings have fallen, warriors have crumbled, and empires have shattered because a man let his desires rule him? Lust is a drug, and most men are addicts, sleepwalking toward their own destruction, mistaking hunger for love, addiction for devotion. They chase the rush, the high, the fleeting thrill, only to wake up in chains. You think you're in control, but look closer. Your desires lead you like a puppet on strings. You make excuses, justify reckless choices, risk your future, your reputation, your very soul. For what? A moment? A body? A fantasy that fades the second it's over? The Stoics warned us, a man ruled by his urges is no man at all. He's a slave to his impulses, a dog chasing a bone, a fool trading his destiny for temporary pleasure. But a man who masters his desires, he is untouchable. He walks through the fire of temptation and comes out the other side unscathed. He does not kneel before lust. He does not throw away his purpose for passing pleasure. He builds, he conquers, he rules, because he rules himself first. Master your impulses, or they will master you. Because the harsh reality? A single moment of weakness can cost you years of progress. One reckless choice can destroy everything you've worked for. Be stronger than your urges. Be wiser than your temptations. Walk away from what weakens you, because a man who owns himself owns the world. Number 4. She can leave anytime. Build a life that stands without her. She swore she loved you. She whispered forever. She held your face in her hands, looked into your eyes, and made you believe she would never go. But one day, she did. No warnings, no explanations that made sense, just cold indifference where warmth used to be. And now, you're standing in the ruins, trying to understand how someone who once called you her world could leave like you were nothing. But here's the truth, she could always leave. She just finally did. Too many men build their entire identity around a woman, not realizing they're gambling with everything. They make her their sun, their center, their purpose. They pour their soul into the relationship, forgetting one brutal fact. If she's your foundation, then the moment she leaves, you fall. And that's exactly what happens. Men crumble, they spiral, they become ghosts of who they once were because they tied their existence to someone who was never guaranteed to stay. A Stoic man does not make this mistake. He does not build his empire on shifting sand. His foundation is unshakable. His discipline, his purpose, his mission. He knows that love should add to his life, not be the reason for it. That a woman can be his partner, his lover, his deepest connection, but never his lifeline. Because if she is your whole world, what happens when she leaves? You're left with nothing. And that's a position no man should ever put himself in. So, be the kind of man who can love without losing himself, who can give his heart, but never his backbone. A man whose strength comes from within, not from someone else's presence. Because the brutal reality is this: anyone can leave. But the man who has built himself into something unbreakable, he will always stand. Number 5. Your time is your power. Protect it ruthlessly. How much of your life have you already sacrificed? How many precious minutes, hours, and years have you thrown away, chasing the fleeting attention of someone who doesn't even respect your worth? Every time you overanalyze a text, every time you wait for a call, hoping for something that may never come, every moment you beg for her attention when you should be focused on your own goals, it's all time stolen from your purpose, stolen from your growth, stolen from becoming the man you were meant to be. The Stoics, in their wisdom, taught us one universal truth: memento mori. Remember, you will die. This is not some distant thought. It's the reality that should fuel every single action you take. Do you want to stand before your Maker and look back on a life wasted? Do you want to see a mountain of lost time spent chasing someone who didn't even think twice about you? The truth is, you are not promised tomorrow. Your time is finite. Your life is short. Every minute you waste obsessing over someone else is another minute you'll never get back. The clock is ticking, and it will never stop for you. Marcus Aurelius, in his own way, reminded us that the universe is change, life is opinion. You can choose how you spend your time. You can choose whether you let the world distract you from your purpose, or whether you turn your attention inward towards something greater. If you choose to waste time, it's not because the world is cruel, it's because you've allowed distractions to steal from your soul. A man with purpose does not chase, he attracts. He attracts with his actions, his character, his resolve. He attracts because he's already living his truth, walking in alignment with his mission. A high-value man is defined not by the women who chase him, but by the work he does when no one is watching, by the integrity with which he moves through the world. To be a Stoic is to master time, to guard it with your life. A Stoic knows that every moment is an opportunity to grow, to refine, to shape yourself into something powerful and irreplaceable. So stop wasting your time on things that pull you off course. Stop giving pieces of your soul to distractions. Your time is your power. If you are not ruthlessly protecting it, you are not living as a man of purpose. Guard it as you would your last breath, for when it's gone forever. Time waits for no one. And if you squander it now, you'll find yourself on your deathbed with nothing but regrets. Move with purpose. Move with power. Build the life you want through discipline, through unwavering focus. The right people, the right woman will find you, not because you chased them, but because you were too busy chasing greatness. Memento mori. Live as if each moment were a gift, because it is. These aren't just lessons, these are shards of truth that slice through the illusion most men spend their lives trapped in. Cold, brutal truths, ones that will haunt you if you let them. The harsh reality is that most men will never get this. They'll waste years, decades even, chasing after things that won't fulfill them. They'll waste their energy, their time, their very soul on fleeting moments, empty promises, and relationships that drain them. But you're different. You don't have time to waste. You don't have the luxury of waiting for someone to hand you the life you deserve. Stop. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to notice you. Stop letting people and distractions steal your focus. Your time is finite, and every moment you waste is a moment you'll never get back. Your life is slipping away with every excuse you make, every second you spend chasing things that don't serve your purpose. The right woman, she's not your purpose. Your grind is. Build yourself into someone who stands unshaken. Become the man who doesn't need to chase, because the world will come to him. Become the man whose presence demands respect. The man who has no time for distractions because his purpose consumes him. The man who loves deeply but never depends. Build your empire, build your life, and then watch everything else fall into place. If this shook you, if you felt that gut punch realization that you've been wasting time or energy on the wrong things, let me know in the comments. Don't keep this to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear these words, because some men are still out there, drifting, waiting for a sign to wake up. This is their sign. Like, subscribe, and commit to leveling up. Do not forget, the world doesn't wait for weak men. It doesn't care about your excuses, your fears, or your doubts. It only respects power, discipline, and relentless pursuit. So stop making excuses. Step into your strength, build the man you were born to be, and take your place among those who shape the world. Because only the strong, the focused, the unstoppable will rise. The rest will be forgotten. Choose who you will become.